welcome to another monthly money reset. It is finally starting to get a little bit chilly outside, and I'm not happy about it at all. I was in denial about the cold weather this season, and I thought that just being in Houston, it was never gonna get cold. I'm already being a little bit dramatic because it is 72 degrees outside right now, but it's been getting cold. And in the mornings when I go out, it's like 50 and I need a jacket, and I just feel the cold coming, and I'm not here for it. But on the bright side, today's October 31st, so it's basically Christmas. I already have my winter wonderland candle behind me. It's been switched out for my fall scent, and it's happening. Like, Christmas is upon us, everybody. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Kayla. I'm 27. I'm currently working as a travel physical therapist, which means that I move states and change jobs about every 3 months. I like to sit down each month and film these monthly money reset videos where I just open up my budget. I review all of my spending, what I saved, how much money I made from the previous month, and then reflect on that month as well. I set goals moving into the next month and then actually sit down and set my budget up completely for the next month as well. And I just like to make these videos to be transparent about money. I remember when I first started adulting, and once I finally graduated from school and started making money, I just feel like I felt completely lost as to what my salary was going to look like, the actual take-home pay of it all, and then what I was going to do with that money once I brought it home. And I was just wondering what other people are doing with it. And we get so weird about money in our culture. It's just not something that we are open enough about, in my opinion. So I like to be the change I want to see in the world and be transparent about my budget. All in this like super cozy, low stress environment, because budgeting can also be really stressful, and I don't think that it should be. I am excited to sit down and go over my budget as always, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that I've been feeling a little bit uneasy about moving into November, because after November we have December, and then we are in a completely new year. And I just feel like I'm not ready for that yet. And that feeling kind of caught me by surprise, because I don't think that I've ever felt uneasy heading into a new year. I think I'm usually pretty good about telling myself that the 24 hours between December 31st and January 1st are the same 24 hours between every other day. Like, the new year is only as big a deal as we make it and we allow it to be. But this year feels a little bit different. And I think it's just because I'm maturing in life in a way, and I'm at the stage where I'm considering marriage and looking at buying a house. And these are just very big girl things. I think I'm also just kind of succumbing to the societal norms and the pressure to do things in a certain timeline. I feel like by society's standards, I'm late on a lot of those things, but that mess does not matter. And I need to just tune the noise out. It's okay. We can do things in our own timeline. It's fine. If you're feeling weird about moving into the new year though, you're definitely not alone. I'm going to give you the same advice that I'm giving myself right now and that I clearly need right now. We just got to keep taking it one day at a time. And I think that it's important to live in the present and just let the actions that we take daily in some way contribute to our future self, because the present is just too beautiful and too amazing to be worrying about the future. That being said, I just want to kick things off by reflecting a little bit on the month of October. I feel like I already started with a little bit of a reflection on how I'm feeling, but regarding October specifically, if I had to describe how I've been feeling for the past month in a couple words, I would say both grounded and uncertain. And those two words feel like almost complete opposites to me, but I've been feeling them both equally somehow. Regarding feeling grounded, it feels so nice to finally be in one spot again. And I've been kind of getting in the flow with my new job. I've been in this job now for about a month, and there's always a little bit of an adjustment period each time I start a new contract. But now that it's been a month, I feel like I'm finally hitting my stride. I've been good about getting back in the gym consistently and just really being on a good routine. And I'm getting integrated into the community a little bit. I joined a volleyball league, which is always exciting and a fun way to meet new people. I just love playing volleyball. So yeah, those are all good things, and they've made me feel really grounded. But I've also been feeling uncertain, and I feel like the uncertainty is a lot of what I was talking about earlier, just worrying too much about my future and wanting to have exact dates and timelines on when things are going to happen, and having a date for every action that's going to happen in my future is just not realistic. If you don't know already, I did get engaged last September, so I just recently hit that 1-year anniversary mark of being engaged, which was just a weird feeling for me, because just by societal standards, I feel like when you see someone who's engaged for a long time, it's like, why are they engaged so long? When are they going to get married? But this is how I wanted things to be. Me and my partner had already discussed before ever getting engaged that we would get a house before we got married, and we've been working towards that process, and hopefully that's going to be a next year thing. But that being said, I haven't done like any wedding planning at all. And no matter how much I tell myself that that's okay, because it is okay, it's what I want, there is just like the anxiety that creeps up inside of me around that. And like the planner in me is like, you haven't planned at all. That's a problem. But it's not a problem. It's okay. Also, I am finishing up my IT course here really soon. I've been in this IT class for like a month and a half, and I should have about a month left. And then after that, I get to start the interview process and actually move into a new career, which is so exciting. I have been saying that I want to move into a remote job almost since I started physical therapy. Like once I started physical therapy, I was like, I need to be at home. But sometimes I think that we work for something for so long and we want it. And once it starts to actualize, it's a little bit scary because it's new. And so I've been feeling a little uncertain about that. But I think all the things I've been feeling uncertain about are really positive things. I've just been trying to lean in more towards the grounded version of Kayla and plan for my future without worrying about my future. And that's why I like doing monthly money resets like this, because it allows me to break the year up into small chunks and make achievable goals for that time frame and remind myself to not worry about years and months in advance. Like, let's just deal with October for right now. And back on the topic of October, money-wise, things have been feeling good. I think it's a while since I've said that I just am in a good spot emotionally with my feelings around money, but I'm finally feeling good about things. It's just so nice to finally have a steady income again. I took like 2 months off from working, which was a lot of fun, but it's nice to save money again. It's nice to have money again. I'm loving that. And so without further ado, let's just go ahead and dig into my October budget. Here she is in all of her glory, my budget for the month of October. Give you kind of like a full look at it. I have been getting a little bit more interest in my budget template and like people asking me, which I'm learning is kind of characteristic for the end of one year, beginning of another year. It's just kind of a time where we decide to get our stuff together, as we should. If you are interested in my budget template, I do have it linked down below. I sell it on Etsy. It's a pretty simple monthly budget template. The thing I like about it is that everything is just on one page. But if you're looking for a new budget in general, Etsy is just an amazing spot. You can find a lot of yearly trackers. If you do get mine, it comes with a lot of really detailed instructions on how to use it. Don't feel intimidated by it at all. And also a lot of my videos that I have out here, I'm using this exact same budget template so you can see me move through it in real time, and hopefully that helps you feel more confident about using it. But back to how the month of October went. Just looking at my overview tab right here, I feel like things are looking nice. I didn't really overspend. I was like right up to the exact amount of expenses that I expected to spend money on, made more than I expected, saved more than I expected, and then my subs and bills were exactly on the money. As far as income goes, this number is pretty inflated. This is not what most of my months will look like, but I had a lot of reimbursements come back to me this month because when I spend money on certain things for travel therapy, like my relocation, or if I have to buy licenses for a new state, they do have to reimburse me. And all of that just came through this month. So the first paycheck, I even wrote like little comments on the side for why I made this much money because I wanted to remember. But the first paycheck, I only worked 36 hours and then I got my $800 travel reimbursement. So that one is more like a $2,100 paycheck. The second one was normal. Third paycheck is pretty average. For the fourth one, I got reimbursement for buying scrubs and for getting a Texas license. And the last one, let me move off this. The last one is just a normal paycheck, but I did drive 300 miles that week. I work in home health, so I drive out to patients' homes in order to treat them, and I get reimbursed for mileage. I would much rather just not have to drive 300 miles than make 2,400 on a paycheck. Trust that is a conversation that I had with my manager, and we made some changes. So I am not expecting that amount of income next month because I'm not expecting to drive that much next month. Scrolling over to expenses, I overspent a little bit in groceries this month, or kind of a lot of them, like 150 over on groceries. And that comes as a shock to me. Almost every month I say, I spend 550 on the money. I'm consistent about my grocery spending. And here I am spending 700. I don't exactly know why I was over this month. I don't feel like groceries are more expensive here. I did get a couple of small things that aren't usually included in my groceries. Devin and I got some new car scents. Like we got some of the little Yankee Candle car scents because we usually get trees, but I feel like the Yankee candles last more. So we invested in those. But other than that, I did have an extra grocery trip. So I technically got groceries September 30th, but my September budget was feeling so full. And so I just moved it over into October. So that could be why I'm over this month. Eating out, I was successful in my quest. I told myself I was only going to buy fast food once a week this month. And that way I would not eat out or spend more money on eating out than $50. So I didn't spend much money on eating out at all this month, and that's exciting. Gas was low because my car was in the mechanic for probably a full week and a half out of the month, if not 2 weeks. And so I drove Devin's Tesla a bunch and he doesn't need gas. So that was nice. Almost no money spent on health and beauty. I expect that to be different next month because I'm maybe gonna get braids. I've been saying that I'm gonna braid my hair for a long time and I just haven't done it, but I think I might maybe commit to it next month. I also will need to re-up on all my vitamins next month, so I'll spend something. I was quite social this month with a total spend of $166.32. I'm always proud when I spend money on social because I like going out and about, meeting people, making friends. It's healthy for you. I have a cousin that lives in Houston, and so me and Devin went out with her and her boyfriend one night, got drinks, all of that. I just kind of counted under social. We also went out to brunch one day, and that very well could have been counted as eating out, but because we did it with other people, I counted it as social. And then about half of this is the $80 that I spent in order to join the volleyball league that I am in right now. Gifts. It was my sister's birthday this month, so I just cash apped her $22 and told her to enjoy herself. Don't spend it all in one place. Doodad spending was definitely over. If you are new to my videos, doodads are just what I consider my fun money. Any money I spent on myself on things that I absolutely did not need, just got for the heck of it, for the fun of it, for the plot, if you will. This month I went a little bit crazy with clothes. I think I was just excited to finally have a steady income again, and I got ahead of myself a little bit. I got a bunch of new workout sets from Going, Gone, and I think the spending bug hit me for a second there in the clothing stores, but I do think I've gotten rid of it because I went to TJ Maxx today after work and I picked up 7 shirts. I put them all back. The only thing I got was these earrings and then also this candle. But I feel like this candle is an investment. Homegirl is a decoration and a candle all in one. Like, this is beautiful. So I plan on keeping it even after it's all burned out. Anyways, my miscellaneous spending fully went towards my car and then my IT class. So I spent $500 on my IT class and then $1,000 on my car. I maybe talked about this last month because most of it happened last month, but I paid for it this month. But I needed to get new coils. My car broke down on the side of the highway, fully down. Homegirl was trying to have me stranded, but we were able to pull over into a gas station. I got new spark plugs, and then I thought I was gonna need new brakes because she was squeaking like a soprano, but turns out I just needed my brakes to be lubricated, whatever that means, and I had to get an oil change. The $241.18 for travel PT is what got reimbursed on this last paycheck, and that's what I spent buying new scrubs and then getting licensed in Texas to legally be able to provide physical therapy to others. As far as subs and bills go, we have the usual suspect. I'm just hoping that I can keep this number this low. I am using everyone else's subscriptions, everyone else's Netflix, Peacock, and I love to watch me some reality TV. The new season of Love is Blind just aired on Netflix, and Peacock is showing Married at First Sight. And so I fear that I would, in fact, buy these subscriptions for myself if for some reason I couldn't use other people's. But for now, I continue to finagle the system, and that is how I'm able to keep my subs and bills relatively low. Because really most of this is just rent. Like, it's $17.55 for my subs and bills, but what is that? 75% of that is all my rent. I'm very excited about what I was able to save this month. In total, it was $5,301.47, and it has been a while since I've saved any money. My family's FaceTiming me. Wait a second.
It's Halloween costume. Hi, little mommy. You're the cutest little mommy I ever seen.
Okay, guys, I gotta call you back because I'm filming a video. I completely forgot what I was talking about. I just got thrown so off track because my sister called me and she showed me a video of my nephew getting ready to go get his little candy bucket from their clubhouse at their apartment. He's 1, and this is his like first real Halloween. So anyways, I got off track, but I'm really trying to be more investment and less savings minded because I feel like I'm hitting a lot of my goals for savings, and I'm trying to tell myself not to over save. If I've hit where I want to be with my savings, and I don't need to keep setting money aside to just sit there. Devin and I's joint account is really getting close to where I want it to be. I have about 30K saved on my own to go towards the house, and then Devin has his own money saved for it as well. I was able to invest $1,750 this month into my individual brokerage account, so that's exciting. I also put $1,100 into my Roth IRA, randomly, I decided that I think I am in fact going to try to max out my Roth IRA. I really just opened my Roth up for the first time last year, and it was because I stopped working in a traditional role last year where I have a job, I have a consistent 401k, and literally from something that someone commented on my video, they were like, girl, you should probably get yourself a Roth IRA. I had no idea what it was. I looked into it and I agreed that I do need a retirement account. Initially, it wasn't a priority of mine because I wanted most of my money to be liquid. I knew that Devin and I were going to plan our big purchase of the house soon, and I just didn't want to tie money up in the Roth IRA. But now that my long-term account is getting to where I want it to be, I have about 20K in that one. Joint account is where I want it to be. I do want to shift my focus a little bit more to my retirement. So before this month, I don't think I'd ever saved more than $200 in my Roth. So exciting that I was able to invest $1,100 in that. I put $500 in my gift sinking fund. 'Tis the season. Christmas is upon us, everybody. And I just don't want November to hit and me to feel like my bank account is being drained because I'm being really generous and trying to get gifts for everybody. That is at about $800 right now. And I feel like $1,000 is a good number. I have a big family, so there's a lot of people to buy gifts for, but I'm also just trying to be reasonable. There was a time in life where I could never even dream of spending $1,000 on Christmas on family members. So I feel like $1,000's probably enough. I put $51.47 into my emergency fund. Those are just completely from my Etsy budget sales. I do not take any of the money that I make from that. I just put it into my emergency fund for now because it's just not consistent enough to consider it income. I put $400 back into my travel PT sinking fund. I usually try to keep that one around $1,000, and I had to take all of that out in order to pay for travel, in order to pay for scrubs, licensing, things like that. And since it was all returned to me in all these paychecks, I probably should have put $1,000 back in there. But I also don't know if I'm going to be doing travel PT after the end of this year at all, because like I said, my IT course is coming to an end. And so I'm hoping to make a career switch. So I just put $400 because I felt like I should replenish a little bit of what I took out, but I don't think I'm going to need the full 1K. $500 into my vacation sinking fund. Devin and I have been talking a lot about trying to go over to Austin because the truth is, I do not like Houston. I thought I was going to love it here, but I just don't. People say that there's so much to do in Houston. And from what I've seen, it's like going out and eating food, going to restaurants. And I'm a really picky eater, and going to restaurants just isn't that exciting to me. And I really think I'm entering my grandma era where going out is not a thing that I love to do either. So Houston has just kind of not been my city. I miss the ability to go hiking. I miss vineyards. I miss laying out outside and just having a mountain view instead of a city view. I feel like I need a little bit of an escape, and Austin, I hear, does have a bit more of a naturey vibe. I mean, it's not Tucson, Arizona, but I want to go. And anytime Devin and I talk about going, I say I really want to go, but in the back of my head, I'm doing the math for what is it going to cost. So this month I just decided, put some money in the vacation sinking fund. I can pull it out when we finally decide to go to Austin, and then I'll feel better about it. Yeah. That's how the month went. All in all, it was definitely a pretty good month. I think that if I were to have another month like this in November, I'd be absolutely fine with it. And that's our transition for going ahead and setting up my goals for November, because I think it is important to move into the month with intention. This is also the part that I've been dreading just the slightest, because I want to review my goals from October, and I didn't hit all of them. I hit a good amount of them, but I didn't hit all of them. I'm just pulling up my October goals on my phone so I can remember what they were. My first October goal was to follow a consistent workout plan, which I definitely did. I'm trying to get in a leg day at least twice a week. And I fell off a little bit with my upper body day plan, but it's because I've started playing volleyball twice a week, and I'm satisfied with that switch out. If I don't hit upper body as much, but I'm swinging my arm all the time doing volleyball and getting cardio with it as well, I am happy with that. I wanted to create a home ownership guide for myself, which I also got started on that. I'm happy with where I'm at. I started to get some real numbers of what I can expect for a down payment. I learned what closing costs are. Literally didn't even know that was a thing. And it's like a little bit of an extra expense to plan for, but at least I know about it so I can plan for it. I wanted to have one big new experience. This one is so subjective. I think this is why they tell us to make SMART goals, so we can objectively say if we hit it. I feel like it was a big new experience to hang out with my cousin. I hadn't seen her in years, and it was fun to go out and get on the Houston scene a little bit. I don't know if that's big enough though. I feel like my definition of a big experience sometimes is a trip or seeing something I've never seen before. So I haven't done that, but I spent 166 on social, so I must have had an experience. I also joined the volleyball league. I'm giving myself a check. I feel like I did have new experiences this month. I wanted to post 3 videos on YouTube, which I did. I'm so excited. I had just kind of fallen off with YouTube, was getting in a little bit of a slump over the past couple months, and we are so back. Oof. And then finally, I'm saving the one that I'm dreading most for last. I'm supposed to finish my house hacking book. Here she is. Do you think she's finished? I've been talking about reading this book since the new year. The thing about me is I don't like to read. And I also have just been kind of avoiding things relating to house buying. And I did the home buying guide this month. I was so filled with pride about it that I realized I didn't care that much if I finished that book. And I think that's the truth. Like I clearly don't care enough to finish the book or it'd be finished. I'm going to finish it at some point. I'll tell you when I finish it, but it's time to stop talking. Like you will not hear me talk about that book again until it's done. So yeah. I was partially good about my goals for October. As far as November goals go though, I wrote some things down on my computer, so I'm gonna be looking down at that. But I want to put at least $350 into my time off sinking fund. I'm trying to prepare for the time off I'm gonna take once I'm done working in December because like I said, I don't think that I will get another travel PT contract. Fingers crossed. So I will need to have a little bit of money in that meantime, in between time to carry myself through that. I want to post 4 times on YouTube and get back to my weekly posting regular schedule. It's a tall task because I just haven't done it in a while, but I did the 3 times last month. So I'm really hoping I can get up to 4 times, especially if I want to do Vlogmas again, where in December I ramp up my posting more than I have in any other month of the year. Then I feel like to prove to myself I can do that, I need to at least post weekly this month. Take a trip to Austin. I'm just writing this one down because as I said, Devin and I have discussed it so much. I finally saved into my vacation sinking fund. And so I just want to make it happen. And I feel like once I write it down, I'm more inclined to make it happen. And then finally, as I said, I would like to work towards maxing out my Roth IRA. I've got about 2,000 contributed this year. And then the max contribution I can make in a year is 7K. So 5K over the next 2 months. I feel like I can do it. So those are the goals. And the only thing left to do is actually set my budget up for the new month. As far as income goes for the month of November, I'm planning on making about $2,200 each week. That was around the lowest paycheck I had last month. The lowest one was $2,257 or something like that. And the only reason that they're varying is because I get paid differently depending on how much mileage that I utilize during the week. And as I said, I do not plan on driving as much as I did on that $2,400 paycheck. So lowballing it, I don't think I should have less than $2,200 any paycheck except for the last one because that one pays out the week of Thanksgiving and I took off Thanksgiving and Black Friday. So I think that one is going to be significantly less than my other paychecks. For expenses, I went ahead and budgeted $600 for groceries. Last month I was at $700 and my normal is more like $550. So I'm hoping that $600 is middle-ish enough that I don't go above that. Same thing goes for eating out this month. I'm not trying to have fast food more than once a week, so I shouldn't go over $50. I did still budget $250 for my gas because I drove Devin's car so much last month that it really skewed the amount of money that I spent on gas. And so I don't have a realistic idea for if I were driving my car all month long, how much gas would I spend? And Houston is huge. I drive so much. I've never seen such a complex highway system. It is so easy to take a wrong turn. I just think I could easily hit $250 because I will probably fill up once a week. Health and beauty, I usually budget $150 for that, but if I braid my hair, then it'll probably be about $100 to get all my hair, the braiding supplies and all that stuff. So I just budgeted an extra $100 for health and beauty. I also know that I need to re-up on all my vitamins this month, so it'll be a little bit more pricey in that category. I budgeted my same $50 for social. I always put 50, but it's a loose 50. If I go over, I'm excited about it. I don't think I'm gonna need to spend any money on gifts since I already have the $800 saved in my sinking fund. I probably will try to buy some gifts this month, which is a scary feeling because I have no idea what I'm getting anyone and it's a month before Christmas. But I want to try to maybe get some things this month and I should just be able to use my sinking fund for that, so I won't be spending any of my own money on that. I've been quite generous with myself on doodads, saying that I'll allow myself $200 of fun money. It's my normal $150 and then also $50 for Christmas decorations. I go back and forth about this every time I'm not settled down for Christmas because I feel like the decorations that I buy are literally equivalent to just throwing money and setting it in the trash can because I'm not bringing them back with me when I go back home. So the compromise I'm making this year is I'm not going to get a tree. As much as I love to have a tree, I'm not going to get a tree. Devin and I won't even be here for Christmas. We're going to already be back home. So it just doesn't feel like I should do that. But I cannot go through the Christmas season without decorating. I just cannot do it. So I think what I'm going to do is go to Goodwill, give myself a $50 spend limit, and then just rack up all the goodies I can there. And when we go back home at the end of December, I will just redonate all the same things to Goodwill. And that feels reasonable enough for me. $11.50 is what I have budgeted for miscellaneous. I usually budget $150, so I'm just still gonna keep budgeting $150. And then I'm continuing on my payment plan for my class. I'm going to pay another $1K towards the class this month, and then I will only have $500 left. So that's all of my expenses. Subscriptions and bills are staying exactly the same as last month. Or the bill that I miss is having CrossFit. I haven't joined a gym here, but it always feels like I need to do one or the other. I either need to be playing volleyball or doing CrossFit because it's really hard to dedicate that much time to working out throughout the week that I'm able to do both of those things. And I'm also just hitting my stride a little bit in the gym. I'm enjoying volleyball right now, so I'm not going to contribute anything to CrossFit right now, but maybe I'll get back into it next year. Time for the fun part. How much money can I save this month? So if I go up to the top of my budget, I have $6,700 left to spend. And that is because I am bringing in so much money over to this month. Usually I only bring over into the month about $600, but I ended last month with $3K because or I guess I ended this month. I ended October with $3K because I got paid today, October 31st. And I just have no time to spend any of that money. So it's like my extra paycheck was happening this month. So anyways, $6,500 or so left to spend that I am planning on allocating completely to savings. So I am going to save towards my joint account. I can probably save $1,000 towards that. I mean, if I have $6,000 to spend, I can probably put a whole $3,000 into my Roth. For my gift sinking fund, it's already at $800. I'll do another $200 to make it at an even $1,000. I don't plan on contributing anything to my emergency fund. Not going to contribute to my travel PT sinking fund. My vacation sinking fund is at $1,000 again, so I don't feel the need to contribute to that. Time off sinking fund, I did make a goal to do at least $350. So I'll plan for $350. So these two are not happening. That leaves my car sinking fund and my long-term account. I'll put another $500 in my car sinking fund. That one is only at like $500 as it stands right now. And I have certain goals that I like to keep them each at. For the car, it's $2K, but I did just spend $1,000 on my car. And so I feel like spending $1K and having $1K is like having $2K. Girl math. And I still have $1,600 left to spend. So I'm gonna up my time off sinking fund to $800. And then I have $1,200 left to spend. I don't know. Oh, I'll do $15 into my joint account. I'll do that. Cool. That leaves me with $700 left to spend. And that is right about where I like my buffer to be. And so that is the month of November fully budgeted for. That's it. I'm feeling good. I always feel better after doing this. I hope that you also feel better after watching this. And if you sit down and do your budget with me while I do my budget, I hope that you felt like you had a bestie here doing it with you. That is my ultimate goal. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I did. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you very, very soon in another video. Bye.